Team Thrasymachus presents Plato's 5 Types of Soul in Game of Thrones.
What does Game of Thrones have to do with Plato's 5 types of soul? To answer this question, we first have to understand the correlation Plato makes between 5 types of regimes and the 5 types of corresponding souls that go with them. According to Plato, there are 5 types of regimes: the aristocracy, the timocracy, oligarchy, democracy, and the tyranny. Each of these regimes has a corresponding soul. Thus, there's the aristocratic soul, the timocratic soul, the oligarchic soul, the democratic soul, and the tyrannical soul. So with these 5 types of soul in mind, we're going to show how some characters in Game of Thrones relate to each type of soul. Although Plato describes various characteristics about the aristocratic soul, some of the main characteristics include being led by reason, so having reason guiding the appetitive and spirited parts of the soul, and contemplating the good and the manifestations of justice that come from it. So, in relation to Daenerys Targaryen, the 2 relevant characteristics is the fact that she does what's best for the city, and she's ruled by reason. She does what's best for the city, and this is probably best exemplified in season 5 when she kills Masador, one of the freemen. Although this will pit 2 different parts of the city against her, she thinks that everyone should follow the law, and that will create the most harmony within the city if they do. And she also, the second point, she exemplifies reason because she's moderate both in her unnecessary and necessary desires. She doesn't seem to indulge too much in either. So.
The timocratic man is like Glaucon. He is guided by the spirited part of his soul. He is courageous, warrior-like, and loves honor.
So similar to Glaucon and the timocratic man, Jon Snow exemplifies spiritedness, courage, he's warlike, and so forth. This is exemplified multiple times in the series. Specifically, when the wildlings attack the wall, he protects the wall, and when things are looking bleak, people look to him as a source of inspiration and courage.
The oligarchic man loves money. He satisfies his necessary desires and controls his unnecessary desires. He is also thrifty and power-hungry.
So a good representation of the oligarchic man in Game of Thrones is Peter Baelish. He controls his unnecessary desires, so he doesn't spend more than he needs. He's money-loving. He owns a prostitute ring, for example, and he's also very power-hungry. Throughout the series, he's manipulating people to get what he wants so he can have more power.
Plato describes the democratic soul as fickle in nature and being fueled by unnecessary desires. Their lack of order leads them to both impulsive thoughts and behavior in nearly every aspect of their life.
Though it's not a perfect fit, Shay does seem to represent some characteristics of the democratic man. She's impulsive and fickle. At the beginning of the show, she's committed to Tyrion, but she ends up betraying him and sleeping with Tyrion's dad, and she also testifies against Tyrion in court. So she does exhibit some impulsive and fickle behavior. Plato describes the tyrannical soul as being fueled by lawless, unnecessary desires. The person with the tyrannical soul performs impulsive actions in an attempt to constantly satisfy their insatiable appetite. However, their lack of moderation or justice leads them to be unjust and untrustworthy. As a result, they have a shortage of allies or any substantial friendship. Joffrey Baratheon is probably the best example of the tyrannical soul in Game of Thrones. He's cruel, impulsive, and he treats his acquaintances very poorly, so he doesn't have many friends. In fact, he's probably friendless, excluding his mom if you count her as a friend, but besides that, he doesn't have many friends. So he does exhibit a lot of the characteristics of a tyrannical man, being cruel, impulsive, and friendless.
We have just explained some of the characteristics that Plato's types of souls have exemplified. Hopefully, we've given you a better understanding of Plato's 5 types of soul and how some of the characters in Game of Thrones also have some of these characteristics.